Well, hey everyone, thanks for watching this. What I'm going to be doing today is actually reviewing our stream from our 11 o'clock service that took place this past Sunday. And I'm going to be just focusing on the different camera angles and just seeing, if they're good, if they're bad, what we can improve upon. I have not seen this. I'm not trying to pick on the tech director from this previous Sunday. I just want us to be able to look at this to continue to improve at what we do. And so I'm going to be looking at the worship portion. That's it. I'm not going to look at the sermon area because that's pretty self-explanatory, but just looking at the different shots that we're getting during our worship time. And so let's just dive right in and go ahead and start reviewing this. That's a good establishing shot right there. That works well.
Who's here to worship the Lord today? We're going to lift our praise.
It's a good close-up of Brent there.
We're going to lift our highest hallelujah. Come on, let's lift this song together.
Okay, there you go. Okay, different shot. All right, there's some choir in there. That's good. Wanting to maybe cut to a different shot every, 4 or 5 seconds. That's good. You got your singers. And it's good that the close-up is on Brent because he's the one that's leading. He's the lead of this song. There's a pan of the choir. It looks good. I will say that you could probably clean up this headroom right here. This headroom above the choir could be less. You want those eyes in that top third. It's kind of hitting that top third line. Okay. That was kind of a weird shot, but that's all right. It's a good shot of the drums. Right here, same thing. We probably do less headroom here, and these people would be less distracting. Because right now it's kind of like, is this shot on 3 people or 1? But it's not bad. I'm just going to nitpick every little thing. No. This would be a good time to get musicians and instrumental stuff because no one's singing right there. Or people clapping, in the choir. Okay. At least that movement was subtle to kind of clean it up. But really, I'm just going to back up right here. These people are, they're hugging the edge of that frame a whole lot. So we might give more room to them. Oh my word. Something's going on right there they're laughing about. Okay, I love it. I love the wide pan. I think it's good. Since we had a good crowd on Sunday, we had, people actually in our, pews. And so it's great to get a shot like that because you can see people, which is really good. So this is what's interesting because we've got people in the choir and that's the shot of getting them and them. But it just feels weird to me because these subjects, because they're in the same frame, really, this needs to be a lot wider, or these shots need to be Brent, Jervon, and Gerard. That needs to be the framing of it. And whereas this whole shot needs to be tilted down to where the top of the frame is above them. Because when you put these subjects and those subjects in the same frame, it's just is very strange. It just looks off. Doesn't look off to you when we watch that? Here's Andrea all over there by her lonesome self. Same thing here. I guess I don't know what communication's like between camera 1 and camera 2. If camera 2 doesn't know that they're live, the tech director is not calling that shot or what. But it seems like, or maybe they're trying a slow push. I don't know. I'd want to find out. I don't know what's going on here. The focus is on Linnell Dye and the choir, so the whole framing of that is a little strange. I know that we're working on getting some more camera angles. This is that same shot that it just feels weird to me. Not really like that. Again, I'd rather see the people in the pews and then it cut off right at Brent, Jovan, and Gerard. Because what happens, like when you come to the close-up, then this is correctly framed. Same thing with this. All these people are in the bottom half of the frame. When the eyes of your subjects, which would be technically this whole stage area, needs to be in the top third. I mean, maybe starting out here and then zooming out to correct framing, but as a still shot, this doesn't work. Doesn't work well. Sorry to whoever was tech director. I don't feel bad at all. I'm just being overly critical here. The no areas. Let's watch the headroom there. Okay, clean that headroom up. Very good. Is there a wide shot coming up? Let me see. There it is, right there.
Well, praise the Lord. Does anybody love the Lord today?
A lot of headroom here above Gerard. So it's kind of like we watch this, we don't go, okay, who's the subject of this shot? Is it Gerard or is it, or should have cut to a close up there because Gerard is the one speaking. Should have come to this shot maybe a little bit sooner. Okay, I want to see something else. There you go. Get a shot of the keys. Very good. Those zooms are tough, and so we got to be really careful about doing that. Really finding that groove to push in, but not bad, camera 2. Actually, I'm going to shrink that back down. I like watching that better. Just kidding. Let's do full screen. That's great. It's a good framing of Jovan. She could be over here a little bit more because she's facing and looking this way. So anytime someone's looking off camera, off the frame, you want to put them in the opposite side. Okay. This is again that same weird framing shot. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to start there if we're pulling out to the correct framing or doing something like that, but or doing like a pan. If it was like a pan, it might not feel as weird, but the fact that it's like a static non-movement shot, it just feels weird. Because even though there's these people up here, this is really technically all dead space. See, there's some movement. It works. It works when you've got movement. See, that actually looked really great. We can totally do those pans up to, at an angle. But we always got to land or go towards correct framing, if that makes sense. I love Jamar, man. He's such a great musician, such a great pianist. I think songs like this, a lot of movement, switching every few seconds, but then getting movement, pans, and going from one pan to another type of pan, or one pan to a close-up, and then coming back out. Very good. I love it. It's so much more immersive when we have that movement. It's great. Very good. Hey, that's awesome. Get a shot of the horns there. I know it's a far shot, so that's not bad. It's very cool. That may not always work just because of the way someone is standing, but it happened to work there. We were able to get him in that shot. My wife keeps texting me right now. That looks good. Looks good. Even though Brent's head's cut off here, Gerard's really the one that's the subject. So that works fine. Because you're focused here. This is like, the framing is focused on him. Grooves like this might be good to go ahead and have another camera, get a shot of, musicians right there or whatever, but I like that movement. It was a good smooth pull. That was good. Very good. So I can already tell between the first and second song, it seems like the tech director kind of got into that groove in the second song a little bit better. And that's probably just due to the fact that, the first song it takes a minute to adjust. But this is second service, so really, really should be ready to go straight from the get-go. But what I'm not seeing, I've seen maybe a little bit of it, but not a whole lot of it, is cutting from a very similar shot to another similar shot. Again, this doesn't work. We gotta get rid of all this space and tilt the camera down. So I don't think we need to watch any more of the worship set, but really just wanted to give y'all a good idea of some of the things that I'm noticing, some of the framing techniques that we could improve upon. And so it helps for tech directors to know this when they're giving direction, but also for camera operators to know correct composition or not. And we can spend some more time later on talking about that on either like a training day or in another video where I can actually go through correct framing composition and talk about the rule of thirds. But basically the rule of thirds is, if I were to put a frame up on this screen right now, what we want my eyes to be in the top third of the camera frame. And that's going to be the same whether it's a close-up like this shot or a full body shot of somebody on our platform. But it's called the rule of thirds. And the same thing applies if I'm not looking at the camera, you can divide the framing in thirds in the front. And if I'm looking straight at the camera, we're probably going to want to put me in the center of the frame. But if I'm looking this way, the correct framing is going to be like this. We never want, let me see if I can move forward. We never want to frame somebody up, where they're looking right at the edge of the frame. You're always supposed to put them on the other side. So that's kind of the basic foundation of the rule of thirds. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and I hope that helps us as we move forward to keep doing what we do. And as always, thank you so much for the time that you give to the church. We appreciate you so much. We couldn't do this without you. And so I love each and every one of you, and I really am so thankful for all of you. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.